Wow, I don't even know what's going on with this world anymore. This world is just bugging the heck out. It is just insane because it is just a frequent and abundant amount of chaos that I just continue to see all over the place. Sadness, despair, and it's like, yo, what is happening here? This episode of FORNEVER News is going to be, of course, the stuff that you want to hear about. We got some Boruto related stuff. We got some stuff regarding Katekyo, Hitman Reborn. Never thought I'd be even saying that shit, right? But like, we got some Hitman Reborn stuff, Dragon Ball Super, Dr. Stone. We got a whole bunch of stuff. But I want to start this episode before we even jump into the intros and all of that stuff. Let's do just at the very least one small moment of silence. And the reason I wanted to do that is because we lost back-to-back over the last couple of days two very prominent voice actors in the anime industry, one of which I met a few years back, and it's just unreal to even say because one of them in particular, we just spoke about that. He recently had kind of handed in all his voice acting roles and went back home to be with his family because he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And I hate to be the one to tell you if you haven't heard it, Billy Kometz, voice actor from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He did Josuke, and he's just been really kick-ass and awesome, and all the stuff he's done has been pronounced that he passed away. Yeah, let's read the article. I'm sorry, I'm terrible of like the way I just started this whole thing, but it's just emotional to talk about it. Yeah. Voice actor Billy Kometz passes away at 35. It is with a heavy heart that we report on the passing of Billy Kometz, a beloved voice actor known for roles like Naofumi in The Rising of the Shield Hero, Josuke in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable, and many more. The 35-year-old actor passed away on June 9, 2022 at MS Hershey Medical Center, and a viewing is currently scheduled for Wednesday, June 15th. In April, Billy Kometz shared news of his stage 4 colon cancer diagnosis. He returned home to Pennsylvania to be with his family while undergoing treatment shortly thereafter. He was blown away by the outpouring of support and love he received during his battle, from messages from fans and friends alike to donations to his GoFundMe campaign. And my heart 1,000,000% goes out to Billy Kometz's family. The one time I got to meet bro, he was pretty awesome. I told the story already, but you know, he was posing for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They had, you know, the reveal for the Diamond is Unbreakable cast, and he was the voice of Josuke. And I remember people were really satisfied with his pose, but he tried, man, and he went out like a rock star, dog. He did everything he possibly, you know, I'd imagine wanted to do. He did big roles, now Fumi, you know what I'm saying, Josuke and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's just really saddening to bring this news to you. And then on top of that, we had another prominent voice actor, also radio host, I believe, gentleman goes by the name Jim White, recently also passed away over the last few days as well. You may know him from Fairy Tail. I believe he did Igneel and the narrator, if I'm not mistaken, and a few other roles. It says here, voice actor and radio host Jim White passes away. The Dallas Morning News newspaper reported on June 6th that voice actor and radio host Jim White passed away on June 4th to lung cancer. Again, another victim to cancer. He was 73 years old. White's wife, Vicky Briley White, told the Dallas Morning News that he was diagnosed with lung cancer April 20th and was hospitalized within the next 10 days. In anime, White voiced Igneel in the narrator of Fairy Tail, starting with second season, Marco Bellwood in Fairygon, Zeke's grandfather in Attack on Titan the final season, Lao Ji in One Piece, and Ieyasu Tokugawa in Basilisk the Oka Ninja Scrolls. And he did a whole bunch of other roles. He was in Black Clover. He was in a whole bunch of stuff as well. I mean, most importantly, I think it doesn't need to be said, but I'm gonna say it anyway, absolutely on 1,000% fuck cancer, 1,000,000,000% fuck cancer. And my condolences go out to Jim White's family, his wife, and it's just sad. And I'm sorry to open up the episode with this, but yeah, it was just, you know, this is important. This is real life stuff, you know, anime and manga news that can wait. We got to talk about real life stuff where we lose people that are a part of our community, anime and manga community. Let's jump into the intro and all that stuff.
No matter how you get it done, no matter how you get it done, no matter how you get it done, no matter how you get it done.
By the way, people, make sure you hit that subscribe and that bell to get all notifications. YouTube has been suppressing the god, to say the least. Like, yo, they've been suppressing my channel ridiculously over the last, I don't know how many months now. So you help a lot with everything that you do. Clicking on this video, you help. Liking helps. Subscribing, hitting bells, all of that good stuff to kind of drag us out of the suppression. Okay, people, and we started off this episode very, very freaking heavy, and I want to bring in a little bit more of the laughs, the joy, all of that good stuff, because, yo, get the negativity out the way first. so that way we could, at the very least, you know, end off in a positive note. And let's start right off the rip with some Boruto related stuff, because I'm not even gonna lie, last I don't know how many weeks now, it's kind of felt very extreme, probably even months, extremely dry for Boruto related news. The anime has been doing what the anime does. It feels like it's been 100,000 years since the last Boruto chapter. Is it just me, or it feels like that came out so long ago, and realistically it's only like a month, not even a month yet, so I don't know. But we got some great news, and I'm excited to say that according to this Weekly Shonen Jump issue, Boruto anime TV series will receive new information during this year's Jump Victory Carnival 2022, being held July 17th. Also, new information for Naruto's 20th anniversary will be revealed. Now, a couple of things to note with that. For starters, let's talk just quickly about, you know, what the Boruto related thing could be at Jump Victory Carnival. Well, Boruto related thing, I'd imagine probably they're going to announce like the next big thing that they're going to do with the anime. Probably either it's going to be like original arcs, or they're going to announce like, hey, we're getting more into another novel or something, we're going to be adapting something like that. That's what I'm guessing, because other than that, it's like the manga isn't even at a time skip. So if you're thinking, yeah, they're going to go into a time skip, the only way would be if they said, yo, screw the manga, we're going into a time skip and we'll flash back to that shit. It's just like, you know, unbearable or something, but I don't see them going that direction. And then with the Naruto 20th anniversary, the problem I have with all of this news in general is let's not forget that they kind of duped us very heavy at the big Jump Festa. You know, they had a super stage for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, as well as the Naruto 20th anniversary. And you know, for all the hoopla of them saying, hey, this is happening, hey, that's happening, ultimately what ended up happening, we got like a recap trailer of like Naruto, and it was a very, very disappointing super stage. So try at the very least, despite the fact that it's exciting, hey, some Boruto news finally coming, big announcements for the anime, keep your expectations at a minimum. I would be through the freaking moon ecstatic if at the very least we got something like, yo, we're doing another time travel arc. I know a lot of people had issues with it. Mainly, I'd imagine, from what I gathered, everybody's issues was Udashiki. He was the very, very problematic aspect of the flashback, you know, the time travel arc where Sasuke and Boruto went to the past and whatnot. I want more of that. I would be so fine with that, them this time around going to the Madara era, even though I'm sure that Madara is going to return at some given point, probably in the Boruto's time skip. And I know probably people are like, no, that's not gonna, it's happening, okay? He's one of the most popular characters. The whole point of this thing existing is giving fans more, and Madara is what fans will want more. So maybe it wouldn't be Madara. Maybe let's go back to, you know, early in the Leaf or something. Maybe, oh my god, a Minato childhood flashback, Boruto going back to when Minato was younger. That could be very interesting if they did it right. If they actually decided, you know what, we don't want to do these corny, terrible filler things, let's do something really good. That could be exciting. I mean, fans have asked for a Minato prequel to begin with. That would also be a great experiment. So there's a couple of ideas. Hopefully somebody at Studio Pierrot is watching this and decides, yo, maybe we should take this dude's point. I mean, he's only been talking about this series for like 12 years and pretty much has called some of the greatest and most iconic moments of what was going to happen and how big they were going to be. Like, maybe just listen to the lad. Or you could do the right thing and, you know, bring me in and we could work together. Definitely let me know what you think is going to be the big Boruto announcement for the Boruto Naruto Next Generation stuff, as well as Naruto's big anniversary thingy-majig. I'm like, Naruto, what really are they gonna announce? Like, yo, we got a new coloring book for y'all playing with me if y'all do some shit like that. Y'all playing heavy with my heart. But we gotta wait and see. Then let's talk about something that I am still, regardless of what, going to keep in a rumor pile, but everybody's going freaking crazy. I don't know how many people have messaged me asking me if I heard about this, what is going on, and I know you're probably thinking right now, oh god, what is FORNEVER about to talk about? Katekyo Hitman Reborn fans, in case you don't know about Katekyo Hitman Reborn, it was a big deal. Like, back in the day, there was a few select series that was like, yo, after Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, they might be the next ones. It was Fairy Tail, you know what, everyone, Fairy Tail, and Katekyo Hitman Reborn was a part of that collective of the next ups. Now, unfortunately, Reborn never actually made it, but it was still a huge series. I love that freaking series. It lasted, like, it had an anime with 200 plus episodes. The manga was like 400 plus chapters. It was a crazy, crazy run. However, the anime never got finished. It finished off the Future arc, which was an insanely good arc. I love that arc of Hitman Reborn, but there was still a few more arcs after that the manga did. What is the Shimon family? Damn, it's been a minute. But according to this big announcement, I don't know, because it says here that Hitman Reborn is rumored to be getting a new anime adaptation, and this is just one of the places. One place I saw it had been up for like a few hours and it had like 11,000 likes on the tweet. Now again, it could all just be some guy named Chris, but considering the fact, if you've been following FORNEVER News, which you definitely should, we talked about this a few months back, that they announced a big Katekyo Hitman Reborn committee that they put together. Obviously, it was, to get it sorted with the products and stuff like that. But considering the fact that they see the outpour of love for Bleach, a lot of these companies are probably looking like, yo, those series that we kind of abandoned and did dirty last decade, we could bring them back and make money. Like, yeah, Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, you motherfuckers, bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Bring it back. Yeah, did Shinobu Otaka dirty, and that's why she left Shogakukan and went to Weekly Shonen magazine. Like, you can't do the guy wrong and then just like, yo, what are you doing? And I'm kind of just curious how that would work, right? Because there's a very big difference. Like, I'm not delusional here between Reborn and Bleach. Bleach to this day is still one of the highest selling manga of all time, and while Reborn was a hit, it wasn't as popular as Bleach. So I'm wondering if it were to return, if this isn't just rumor, if this is maybe marketing 101, like, yo, test the post, see how people are feeling about a reaction to Reborn returning, how they would do it. Like, are they gonna just do a big recap? Because again, there's like 200 plus episodes of the anime. Now granted, the anime kind of didn't really have too much filler, and the filler arcs in Reborn, honestly, Reborn is one of the few long running shonen that had really good filler. Like, the filler actually gave you answers to things you cared about and whatnot. So I'm like, it's not like they could cut out a ton of filler. Maybe the pacing would be better or something if they was to try and do a reboot from the ground up. I would freaking love that. Cut out a lot of the daily life arc, because in case you don't know, Hitman Reborn has a lot of what feels like filler, which was basically like that the manga started off damn near like a gag series. It's like, hey, this little mafia guy shows up and he tells this Izuku Midoriya type of character. He's like the original Midoriya character, Tsunayoshi Sawada. Yo, you about to be the boss of like a mafia crew and whatnot, and he's like scared to death. And there's like, I don't even remember, like 10-20 episodes of them just like goofing and gagging around, him getting mad and his clothes explode and stuff like that. Hopefully, if they were to do it that way, they would cut out a lot of that. However, if they decided to go the route of maybe like a recap episode, a bunch of marketing to get people, reminded about the old series, I'm gonna bet this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna bet this. I personally feel like they're going to be putting out Reborn as a reboot anime, and here's why. Discotech Media, they're a company that they license a lot of Blu-ray and DVDs of series that probably didn't necessarily make it to where they should have. Like, they released the DVDs of Beelzebub. They released a lot of more smaller series that was still, they had a fan base, but didn't really take off. One of the things I noticed is that they usually get the license for series that, especially if there's word of the series returning, they'll get the license to the old anime because there's about to be a new adaptation of it. This is what happened with, if I'm not mistaken, Shaman King. They got the old Shaman King anime, and then boom, Netflix is like, yo, we got a new one. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix or any of these giant conglomerates that the anime industry has become have been like, yo, we want that Reborn series. Let's make a brand new one. Yeah, we don't care about the old one. It's old. The first 100 episodes is like an SD and stuff. Like, let's remake it from the ground up. That could be where they're going with it, and I would not be mad at all. Also, bring back Akira Amano with a follow-up. Let's see the days of Tsunayoshi Sawada being the Vongola boss. I want to see him as the boss. That was one of the biggest complaints, that we didn't get to see him as the full-on Vongola boss, aside from in the future arc. Like, one page would have solved all that. So I'm wondering if we're going that route. Either way, it's really, really fun to hear that something might be going on with Reborn. We know there's a committee. We know that there's a lot of backing behind it. I want that Reborn anime, and I want it now. And if it's a reboot and it's done quality and they cut out a lot of the shit that I don't care about, yeah, I'll take it. And also Yu Yu Hakusho and Magi, like, if y'all want to do. Just saying. Then I wanted to talk about this. It's not necessarily anime and manga related, but it's in the realm of nerd culture. I mean, a lot of nerds loved it. Everybody really loved it, or was talking about it at the very least. Squid Game. It has been officially announced. Squid Game Season 2 is on the way. They even got a little promo poster. It said, on your marks, get set. Green light. Squid Games continues only on Netflix. Squid Game Season 2, and it has the little girl, the little statue girl that I believe it's like in Korean textbooks that they use that character for, like, hey, this is what we're explaining for like children and stuff like that. But pretty much, yeah, Squid Game 2, I'd imagine if they're announcing it, considering the big giant losses that Netflix has taken, we could probably see that here soon. Like, they probably are desperate, like, yo, all we gotta do is keep on banging out a Squid Game. We don't need all of these tiny little things. We just need a Squid Game, and we need Squid Game to come out a lot more quicker than the previous one, because the previous one took like the creator 12 years to get off the ground. But a little bit of a different story. He had to find funding and yada yada yada. But I'll be honest with you, one of the things is I definitely feel like it didn't need to happen. I definitely definitely feel like Netflix saw whatever numbers they saw using whatever algorithms that predicts things showed them, and the moment they saw that Squid Game was going to be what it ultimately became, they absolutely changed that ending to put the main character, instead of just going to his daughter, like, dog, go to your daughter. LeBron was 1,000,000,000% right. Go to your fucking daughter, dog. What are you doing? Like, I gotta stop the Squid Game. No, your daughter, dog. But then again, also there's a heroic aspect to it that I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say I admired. I do admire the aspect of, he's like, yo, I gotta stop, I gotta put an end to this. This shit is wrong, it's evil, it's messed up, and it's still going. But it just feels like that was a last minute addition. So maybe that's my, I don't want to say indifference, because I did come across as like, yo, I hate it, no, don't bring back Squid Games. But more so, I felt like that wasn't the original intention. It was probably supposed to end, and then the last second, because like one of the biggest things is, yo, dog, he has this complex relationship where he's about to lose his daughter. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Do you want another Squid Game? Do you think it needs to happen? I mean, it's greenlit, it's coming out, they probably are in the process of filming now, or maybe they wrapped up filming, God knows where they at in the stages of it. We could probably see it end of this year, maybe early next year. Netflix is like, yo, they're bleeding out, right? They got stabbed of 200,000 subscribers. They're like, Squid Game, save me. Then all of a sudden Chainsaw Man jumps out of nowhere and just starts slashing people down. If you know the reference, then you might know the reference, my lord. I refer back to the beginning of this video when I say, what the hell is going on with this world, fam? What? Tokyo Revengers, which honestly has gotten severely quiet after I started hearing a lot of slander about, hey, the manga has fallen off and all that, yada yada. I ain't hear too much about Tokyo Revengers, but yeah, Tokyo Revengers, the criminal activity in Japan has arisen, and it kind of feels like, to a certain degree, when I hear stuff like this, right, that unfortunately there is a level of influence that anime and manga do have, and even on, you would argue, maybe children, or just in general people. I don't want to say children because this article isn't about children, but it definitely has some sort of weird thing going on, because I see this and I'm trying to find out where's there more info to this. But apparently 31 Tokyo Revenger fans were arrested for reckless driving. Now I'm trying to understand, like, wait a minute, so did they all have like Tokyo Revenger tattoos or stickers on their vehicles? Like, how the hell did they know that these 31 people were all Tokyo Revenger fans? Or it could be that it's contributing to the crime rate over there in Japan, because you got to think, yes, there is a certain level of influence. Just like, you know, your daughter want to be like, let's just say you got a kid, right, and your kid is watching X show, JoJo Siwa, whatever the case may be. They're gonna want to be like that. Now, I'm not saying that that's of the responsibility of the company that puts out that product, but nevertheless, there's influence. So Tokyo Revengers, who knows, it might be influencing, whether it be young teens, young adults, grown-ass people, to be a little more reckless. Tokyo Revengers has a certain edge to it, and it's really an awesome show. So you add all of that together, it might be pushing it towards, yeah, people are getting influenced to be a little radical over there in Japan, and that's kind of nuts, because y'all know, we talk about it all the time, in Japan, the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. So you want to go play that Tokyo Revengers shit out there, and they catch you, it's a rizzy. You better have some very, very influential parents or something, because they taking you down. You ain't Mikey, dog. This is the Tokyo Revengers where seemingly no adults exist, and all the kids are just complete brutes and savages. But yeah, I don't know, I found that one to be fascinating, and it's from a kind of credible source. So I was like, 31 Tokyo Revenger fans arrested for reckless driving. Nani sore wa? Now get cozy, because we're jumping into the top 50 best-selling manga of the week, courtesy of Jos_K, and presented to you by yours truly, ForneverWorld desu. Coming in at number 50 is Volume 8 of Me and Roboko with 10,910. Now, here's the thing, right? Because in case you missed it, we talked about it in a segment recently. There's a new series in Shonen Jump that they're claiming is a big hit. It already got big reprints, all sorts of stuff, and a lot of people are saying it's really, really good. Akene Banashi. It's apparently like a stage play type of series. Think like Act Age minus the creep author that couldn't act his age. Like, yeah, they're saying it's a hit, and initially when it was released, it was outselling Me and Roboko, but in the end, clearly Me and Roboko outsold it. But from my understanding, looking at the numbers, I believe the numbers weren't far off from Me and Roboko, so it was probably like maybe 51 through 55, somewhere on the list in terms of sales of the top 50 best-selling manga. So I don't want to completely say, yo, Akane Banashi is a failure. And also, you're probably thinking, well, dog, why? What do you mean? 10,000 is terrible. For a stage play manga, I guess it's just different. Like for Me and Roboko, 10,900, it might not be the greatest thing in the world, but it's okay-ish, because they're probably betting on this anime needs to hit. If this anime, because, you know, I got announced an anime, if this anime does what it needs to do, everything else Forces of Relevance. So that's what I'm guessing they're hoping for. Then jumping up to 47, let's do the damn thing. One Piece 102, 11.2 this week, 1.6 million. Then very interesting, Chojin X Volume 3 in 19 days at 77,000. I've noticed that numbers have severely dropped for a lot of manga. Like Chojin X started off like it was a little bit skeptical or whatever, but I remember in the end it did like very well and it broke 100k in like the first, I don't know, 3 weeks maybe or something like that, 2 weeks. Here in 19 days it's at 77,000 with sales dropping. It'll probably hit maybe 100k before it gets out of here, but definitely not as good as the previous 2 volumes sold. Then jumping up, we got some Spy Family official fan book, 12k. Fire Force's final volume, another 12k, 115. Can't wait to see what happens once that anime comes out for season 3 and it shakes shit up. 40 through 31, One Punch Man volume 25, another 13,000. Dope stuff. Tokyo Revengers 27, 13,000. Yeah, that Tokyo, I don't know if it was the cover. I don't know if Tokyo Revengers just jumped shark and people are just sick of it or something, because these volumes were doing way better. And I don't know what happened here, but this series was selling way crazy, and it's almost like the magic that it had pushing it is gone. It's very bizarre. A Villain Saga volume 26, 13,064. I cannot wait for that anime. If you saw the trailers and stuff, very, very exciting. Can't freaking wait. Then 30 through 21, Jujutsu Kaisen volume 19, still on the list. Like I said, dog, if it's not One Piece, it's JJK that's holding down Jump. Everything else is underneath. With 17,000, bringing his total to 1.6 million copies sold. Jumping up, Blue Lock, y'all know the anime is coming soon, volume 19,000. Then we got Star and Stripe volume 34. I'm just gonna call it, until we stop counting that one, I'm just gonna call it Star and Stripe volume 34, with 19,629,000 copies, so 630. Again, all of these series I'm noticing per volume are decreasing, because I remember My Hero, at the very least from what I've seen, you know, in the first month of sales, the previous volume was like at 750, at way over it at this point. So interesting. Then Witch Watch volume 6 in its first 6 days. This is a series that has lasted and jumped for over a year now. 19,000. I swear to God, it's like if your battle series, you really gotta pray and wish and hope that you sell an astronomical amount of copies, because a series that is not a battle series, I'm assuming that Witch Watch isn't really battle series, don't quote me on that, but even, you know, me and Roboko or Akane Banashi, they just look at things different. Like if you're not selling ass amounts of, you know, copies, like just ridiculous amounts, you better be a different type of series, because in Shonen Jump, you go battle, you battle for sales. That's just the reality of it. And just in general, battling for relevancy in that damn magazine. Then 20 through 11, Elusive Samurai volume 6, 24,000, not bad at all. Blue Period, even though again other series, you know, sell whatever, I don't want to get petty now. Blue Period volume 12, 24,000. Owari no Seraph volume 27, I wonder how much longer this one's gonna go. 27,000. It's definitely starting to, I feel like there's a little bit of a decline, or not a little bit, a massive amount of decline. I don't hear nobody talking about Seraph of the End anymore. Sakamoto Days volume 7, 30,000. Really awesome stuff, happy to see it. Shout outs to Sakamoto Days, awesome manga. Spy Family, you know, tearing it up in there. Again, it's like the only anime that came out this season apparently. And then top 10 really demonstrates that, because Jesus Christ, 6 out of the top 10 spots is Spy Family. That's freaking absolutely nuts. And then you got a little blue box in there, volume 5, number 5, 40,000 in 3 days. That is really good. Like, don't get me wrong, again, I feel like that's a decrease, but still, for a sports romance, that's probably going to be up. If you notice, a lot of these magazines, even with the battle series themselves, like Dragon Ball Super Heroes, they're trying to shy away from battle stuff. It's weird. It's almost as if maybe battle series, battle manga are on the decline as a whole. Who knows? It just feels like a lot of, like, what Jump and a lot of these magazines are doing is pushing more towards family-friendly shit, opposed to just throw some punches. Could also be because of the expansion of anime and manga in the West. So there's that. And then I'm just going to say the top 2 spots. One Punch Man volume 26 and number 2, 96,000 in 3 days. And number 1, Aoashi volume 28, 108,000, 7 days. So we're counting different things. It's weird to count, like, this one got counted for 7 days. This one got counted for 3 days. Whatever. Either way, Spy Family still dominating. Some interesting stuff here. Disappointed Akane Banashi got beat out by Roboko. I wanted to see that, like, prove a point, but whatever. And yeah, that's the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. Hope you enjoyed it, lad. Dragon Ball Superfan fans. Everybody is talking about it. It's going crazy. You may have missed it. I talked a little bit about some of the leaks that came out with the recent stuff of Dragon Ball Super Superheroes. Well, it seems like Dragon Ball Super Superheroes is doing well. According to this, it says Dragon Ball Super Superheroes sold about 210,000 tickets on its opening Saturday. And for comparison, Broly's opening Friday sold about 111,000. So it supposedly did double. I could potentially see it solely from the fact of, hey, the fan service really got to people because it kind of changed my mind. But that also kind of feels like they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, but the people counting the numbers might be lying, because it just, up until like maybe 5 minutes ago, who the fuck cared about this film? And maybe I'm just not really in touch with the pulse in Japan, and somebody's gonna say, FORNEVERNEWS, just shut the fuck up. You know, okay, you know, you're there right now. Your fucking grandfather works for Toei or something, right? Kudos, you know everything, cool. But seriously, 210,000 tickets sold day one on its opening Saturday. In comparison to Broly, 110. We gotta see the first week though. Like, I'm not gonna get fronted out by, ooh, the opening weekend, or ooh, opening week, because that's where they put the most marketing, the most money, the most fudging of numbers. We will know by the end of week one, and definitely week two, where it's stacking up against Broly in terms of popularity. In terms of quality, I think it's gonna be unanimous that most people are gonna say, no, we prefer 2D, because I still prefer 2D. But this movie does sound like it offers a lot more than I initially thought it would. I thought it was gonna just be like, you know, Snoresville or some shit because of the 3D CG. They kind of proved me wrong with some of these leaks and stuff, so I'm very excited for August when this film comes out over here in the West. And let's wrap it up with some Dr. Stone updates, because y'all know, in case you didn't, one of the big things that a lot of people were talking about when it comes to Dr. Stone is, as of recent, Boichi, after they dragged him out of Weekly Shonen magazine, and now he's trying to run the webtoon, but he came out and said, hey, Dr. Stone is not over, and we got a slew of announcements for Dr. Stone, anime and manga related. For starters, the anime special Ryusui will release on July 10th, so if you want some more Dr. Stone anime, I want some more Dr. Stone anime, we're gonna have some more Dr. Stone anime. Then the official fan book, August 3rd, don't really care, but then there's a special chapter coming in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 31, so if you want another chapter of Dr. Stone, there's gonna be another one. And I ain't gonna lie, this poster right here for that Ryusui special looks freaking amazing and fire. And yeah, Dr. Stone, I'm not gonna lie, man, it's just kind of weird that the way they're ending it and everything is just that Shonen Jump is going into this whole anime only motto now, because like they didn't even give it like what I felt like an impactful send off in the end and shit. I don't know, Jump is just all over the place nowadays. I knew I wasn't bugging. Now, I've been telling people for a long time now, something is going on with the manga industry. Too many series are taking extended hiatuses, ending early, ending before the freaking anime could finish wrapping up, and allowing the anime to do things. There's just been so much chaos, and this is another example of the insanity that is going on in the manga industry right now, that is honestly starting to make me really question what the state of this whole industry is, considering the fact that another big dog is taking what feels like a very long hiatus, considering it's already a monthly series. Y'all know, you looked at the title, you probably like, yo, FORNEV, we know it's Boruto. Boruto is taking a hiatus, and because it's a monthly series, off rip, that is a very extended hiatus, because it feels like forever for a monthly chapter. I used to feel like devastated every time I would finish an Attack on Titan chapter, knowing that, oh my god, there's another month. But yeah, let's read this.
No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done. No matter how you feel, get it done.
Shoutouts to Organic Dinosaur. They said the Boruto manga will be taking a brief hiatus for next month's July release of the Jump. It's currently scheduled to resume serialization, continuing on with the publication of Boruto manga chapter 72 and the August release of the Jump. So pretty much after the next chapter comes out, which will be in like another couple days, essentially you won't be reading Boruto until like August 20th, pretty much the end of summer. So it's gonna be a damn near summerless Boruto year, and it's kind of crazy because the last few years, the Boruto franchise every year has had something really popping for it. Whether it be last year, the anime stole the summer practically with all the Boroshiki versus Boro stuff, and Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen, and then of course Ishiki. Like, yo, the franchise stole the show last year. And then the year before that, 2020, it was the manga that had those same events, but it was just exploding. I remember it was like, I felt like a kid in a candy store, especially with the Kashi and Koji stuff. I was like, oh my god, this is just like the Naruto that I loved. I want Boruto to be more like this. And this year, it's kind of like, for starters, the anime, y'all know if you don't know that it is in kind of, you know, anime original hell right now, so to speak. It's not all that exciting and interesting. I mean, there's been some stuff that has piqued my interest, but for the most part, nobody's even talking about the Boruto anime right now. Like, I never damn near ever see it on my timeline, minus maybe like once a few weeks ago, and then like memes and shit. But yeah, Boruto anime dead in the water. So 2022 is arguably the worst year for the Boruto franchise in the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years or something. And that's that 2019 was a dry spell, but I throw the argument that, yo, that time travel arc, it brought people in, it brought eyes in, it brought in new fans, and that's something that it desperately needed. This year right now, what is there? Like, the manga is like alright, but we'll talk about that in another video, the spoilers for the upcoming chapter. Jesus Christ, it's looking bad out here, fam. And this isn't the first instance, because a lot of people are like, okay, FORNEV, what are you talking about? The industry as a whole. Black Clover, 3-month hiatus. One Piece, 1-month hiatus. Marshall ending before even getting a freaking anime announcement. It's on its final arc. Undead Unluck, damn near what, 100 chapters, over 100 chapters, no anime. All of these series that are getting canceled within a few chapters that are really, really good, like the Hunters Guild, Red Hood, Ayashimon, and all the other ones that Shonen Jump is canceling early. Then it makes you question, like, okay, so they're doing all of this, and then on top of that, like, Demon Slayer ended a few years ago, but they're continuing on pushing it as like an anime only thing. There is something very heavy going on. I don't know if it's that numbers have been fudged or something, and the manga industry isn't doing as good as, or even close to as good as it's been portrayed over the last few years, because you don't make these big decisions without something being into play. It could also simply be that the genre, the medium itself of anime and manga is going through what some might refer to as medium burnout or franchise burnout, where basically, like, people, they're kind of right now not too fond of anime and manga, because you got to think, one of the big things that really catapulted anime and manga over the last few years was the fact that during the pandemic, everybody either revisited it, got into it, or tried some shit or whatever. And that's probably not the best memory or something that you want to remind yourself of, yo, no, we was locked in the crib with a life-threatening virus, the media driving everyone insane, talking about it 24/7 and stuff like that. Do you really want to think about anime and manga right now, where things are just maybe slightly more lax? You know, events are opening up, people aren't required to have the shot and stuff like that. Like, probably you don't want to think about that time in your life where you was depressed as hell, locked in the house. So that's why anime and manga right now itself might be going through, again, franchise or medium burn, where people are just like, I love that shit, but not right now, dog. I'm gonna go outside and turn up. And hopefully when you're turning up, you're doing it responsibly and effectively in a way that is not harming yourself or anybody around you. I don't care how corny it sounds. Don't think because, yo, you was going through some shit during the pandemic that you got to continue on carrying on with that. Get back to the life that you love, or create a new one. And I know we trailed way off from what we was initially talking about, that, hey, the Boruto manga is going in a 1-month hiatus, and this is not good, man. This is not good. What am I gonna freaking read? What am I gonna talk about? Thankfully, like, FORNEVERNEWS allows me to really just talk about a wide variety of all sorts of stuff. You know, new anime announcements, this is going on in the industry, and that. Like, FORNEVERNEWS is really what keeps me, like, invested into this right now, because I love hearing everything that's going on, and then eventually, you know, I check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Do you have any theories, any explanations as to what's going on with the industry right now? All of these series ending, then Tagashi coming out of nowhere and returning. Likewise with them continuing the Berserk IP despite the passing of the late great Kentaro Miura. What's happening in this industry right now? Talk to me, people. Let me know. Y'all been quiet. Let me know. And also drop a like. Yo, last few years of Boruto anime and manga has been undeniably great. Undeniably great. And 2022. Okay, people, so before we go any further, please hit that subscribe button and that bell. It takes a couple of seconds. YouTube right now pretty much has me off the grid. If you're not a follower of mine, it's a little difficult to even find me nowadays, so please hit those buttons. Let's break through Al Gore's rhythm, shall we? Okay, I'm not the biggest webtoon reader. I read a few here and there just recently. Funny enough, last night actually, I was over there. I checked out this series called Max Powers, and I was like, okay, yo, Webtoons got some creators over here making some noise, making some quality content. Highly recommend Max Powers. No, I'm not paid to say that. No, I have no involvement with it. I just thought it was a really awesome webtoon, and I was really enthralled, so much so that in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. I just read everything, and I'm behind on so many manga right now, but I was like, yo, this Max Powers looking kind of cool. But that's a side note to what Webtoons did, because dog, Webtoons just shitted on all of their creators. They basically put their creators under the bus, so to speak, threw them them under the bus because what they said in a promotional campaign at that, I ain't even gonna front. It kind of reminds me, unfortunately, I gotta say, of what Elon Musk did over at SNL with the whole Dogecoin situation where everybody was like, yo, he's about to send Doge to the moon, and then he calls Dogecoin a hustle. Now, granted, it was a hustle and he was being legit because everybody tanked right after and Dogecoin pretty much never really recovered, especially once the whales jumped in and did all their magic. It was all over. And Webtoons decided to do the same thing to their creators because they put up this promo poster that is getting everyone going crazy, but also I'd imagine this is a part of their marketing strategy. And sadly, I'm playing into their hand, but I gotta let people know what's going on right now and the disrespect. If you're going over to Webtoons, if you're creating Webtoons, if you're putting stuff up over on that platform, what they're doing. Because over on Twitter, a post went viral of somebody that they took a picture of a Webtoons big promo that they had, and it looks like it's probably in the train station. I'd imagine maybe this was in New York something. And they had, you know, some art from some Webtoons, I'd imagine, that are on the platform, but it's this quote right here that pretty much, yeah, their PR right now is in a complete disaster. And ultimately, despite the fact that yes, people are talking about it, I'd imagine potential creators and creators are doing their thing right now might leave the platform over this because they said comics are literature's fun side hustle. What? Right now that has creators going crazy. As I'm looking at it right now, the thread is going nuts of people that are like, how dare you refer to our medium, the way we express ourselves, the way we create our story, our storytelling in general, as a side hustle? How dare you do that to your own creatives like that? That's it. Like, imagine if I have a bunch of people creating content here on this channel and I'm like, yo, dog, you know, this is all you guys' full-time job and everything, but you know, working for FORNEVER is a side hustle. You would be like, damn, okay. Because ideally, especially when it comes to Webtoons, this is something larger. This is what a lot of people feel like an opportunity to grow an audience, showcase their stuff. There's already a community of people that, you know, want to read some stories from upcoming creators and whatnot. Imagine doing that, giving your heart and soul on there, only for them to say, yo, these guys, they average at best, which is pretty much what they're saying of this is a fun side hustle. I get the marketing behind it of, hey, we could get more people to think that they about to make some bread putting their comics on our platform. But in reality, all you did was slap each and every creative that is working hard, that is dreaming, that is pushing forward through Webtoons. Yeah, you just kind of shit it all over them, and that's so disrespectful and corny. And I'm glad that as it stands right now, and until they remedy this situation, I've never published over on Webtoons. Don't get me wrong, I got a lot of stuff in the works. I got a lot of things that is going to happen over time, but maybe Webtoons ain't the place for me to bring my comics if this is how they feel about their creators, that all they're doing is a little fun side hustle when people are chasing their dreams. There's a lot of people, there's somebody right now out there watching this video, and as cliche as it is, it's legit. There's somebody watching this video right now that probably will make the next Naruto, that might make the next Bleach, and it might come from, you know, all over the place. It could come from the US, it could come from India, Canada, you never know. So when that's happening and you're doing this, you're putting down a lot of people, and that's corny. Shout outs to each and every creative out there that is doing their thing, every author, every artist. You got my love, support. I don't like that shit, and at the end of the day, I know, and a lot of people know, that is not a side hustle. You guys are working to change your lives and do what you love, and I can respect and admire and appreciate that. And Webtoons, you gotta apologize for that. That's wrong. I don't care how much money you put behind this marketing campaign. It's a slap in the face to everybody doing their thing. And sorry, but I had to get heavy with it immediately because I was just looking at this like, yo, what? No bueno. No bueno. And from there, I want to jump into the Weekly Shonen Jump comments as well as the Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments. Let's see if we do all of them in unison. We got just a whole big author comments. So we're going to be talking about anywhere from author of Hajime no Ippo and Four Nights of the Apocalypse to One Piece, etc., etc. I hope we could do more of this way because I'm excited about talking about them all in a stretch. So let's start off with Weekly Shonen Jump. And off the rip, I wanted to start off actually, a lot of people keep telling me to check out P, and I might check it out. So by Mopolo3, he said, croissants are delicious. I'm hooked. I like butter a lot more than I used to. Croissants are okay. It depends on the day. Then Eiichiro Oda, creator of One Piece. Rice paper is so fun. Wrap a salad from the convenience store and suddenly you have a spring roll. I can wrap anything. Yo, sometimes these authors' lives just sound so sad. Like, yo, dog. Oda is happy about wrapping shit in like salad and rice paper and shit. Like, free Oda, man. Free the peace god. Hajime Komodo, author of Martial Magic and Muscles. There's a joke video where they replaced the graduation music with a rap song. It's hilarious. Why is a rap song hilarious? I mean, I guess it depends on the rap song, but Komodo, don't make me not like you, fam. Don't. I mean, it's okay to not like, you know, a genre, I guess, right? But it's just like, why would that be the butt of your joke? Like, yo, Hajime Komodo, I got my... I got my eyes on you, fam. Then we got Gege Akutami, author of Jujutsu Kaisen. 2 weeks ago was a one-shot from Ufo-kun, who worked on the Private Pure Love Train part. Okay. Shout outs to Gege. I noticed a lot of these authors are really looking out for their friends and people that they rock with and giving them shout outs. That's really, really cool. Then we got author of Dororan, Gen Osuka. Some kid played a prank by screaming through my mail slot. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Oh my god. That's so terrible. I'm sorry. Leave Gen Osuka alone, okay? Don't do that. No. Yeah, those are the author comments we have this week for Weekly Shonen Jump, but that last one, though, poor Gen Osuka. Oh, my God. Then jumping over to the Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments, and I'm going to keep covering this author until eventually I freaking read at least one chapter of the manga. It's Kanan-sama by Nonko. They said, I'm searching for a place where I can play catch by myself. I'm guessing they're looking for a new apartment. Like, yo, I always love hearing the new mangaka experience. Like, a lot of these people, they usually be sheltered. They be in the middle of freaking nowhere. Then all of a sudden, they're thrusted into stardom. They're, in the Shueisha Jump building looking for their first apartment and shit like that. So, well, I'm talking about Weekly Shonen Magazine. You get my drift. Kodansha, whatever. It's just a fun thing to see. It's kind of like when you're looking at a new musician, a new hip-hop act, and you see them at the ground level and then watching their rise. It's fascinating. Then you got Hiromashima, author of Eden Zero. Since so many projects of mine are moving simultaneously, I'm busy all of the time and love it. Yo! Me, right there. Me and a few of my peoples, my big bro, my peoples. That's the way we rocking. That's why Hiromashima is a freaking legend. That's why one day, dog, I gotta do something with Hiromashima. One day, I don't know what it will be, whether it's even just like a promo piece. Let's just say I got like a new manga coming out and like, yo, working with Hiromashima would be legendary. Like something one day I would love to. And also I would love to address because, there's those things where, let's just say one day, 5 years from now, I get to meet Hiromashima and people like, we're gonna cancel FORNEVER. We're gonna show some of those fairy tale reviews where he was, going ham on it. Like, no, at the time I legitimately stood by what I was saying and I still stand by at the end of the day. Hey, if there was some problematic aspects, yo, you got to express that. But there is no doubt, there's nothing that can be said regarding Hiromashima and just how amazing this dude is, how much he gets done. Like, this man has the true to blue heart of a hustler. How can you not respect that? Then we got Yusuke Nomura, author of Blue Lock. My kid is hooked on Real Steel, so I decided to watch it with him. You've got good taste, son. Oh, I love stuff like that, man. I'm really a parent, dog. Like, yo, I hear stuff like that and I'm like, that's awesome. Kei Urana, author of Gachi Akuta. Pokemon. That's all they said. Pokemon! How about Pokemon? Gotta catch 'em. No, you ain't getting me with that copyright, baby. Let's move. Negi Haraba, author of Ranger Reject. I like my past peak physical shape to continue as it is now. Getting on that wave of like losing the weight and shit like that. Yo, this shirt used to fit me tight. This shirt was fitting me tight when I bought it. Water, exercise, eating right, changing the way you think, your mindset and everything. Life-changing stuff, being the best version of you, being everything that you're supposed to be, dreaming, never stopping and quit. Like, yo. Then to wrap it up, we got the author of To Your Eternity, Yoshitoki Oima. Dried firefly squid is delicious. Get out of here. That sounds so disgusting. Dried firefly squid. Ew. I mean, you never know. It might be like delicious, but no. And yeah, people, those were the Shonen Jump and Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments. Let me know if you want me to do them continuously like that, back to back, or you just like to get them here and there by themselves. I thought it was more interesting to have all of the authors together. It's like if I'm forcing crossovers between publications that are rivals. Then quickly, let's slow it down for a second because y'all know I'm not a fan of the canceled series. I'm not a fan of things that is like, yo, this is awesome. Why are y'all ending it premature? Time Paradox Ghost Riders, in case you heard of it, it was kind of like some time travel Bakuman-esque type of manga that had a lot of praise and love, and I believe it was canceled due to a controversy of kind of alluding to like plagiarism and Jump and all that stuff, so it got canceled. However, Kenji Ichima and Tsunehiro Date, the duo behind Time Paradox Ghost Rider, will be publishing a new one-shot titled Love Attack on June 18th on the Jump Plus app. Yes, they recognize the moves. Jump Plus. Stop trying to go to Weekly Shonen Jump. It sounds like a living freaking hell over there. Maybe the pay might be more. Maybe the promises and exposure. Maybe there's a guarantee of like, you get in here, as long as you survive X amount of time, you're guaranteed an anime. Maybe that's not promised in Jump Plus. I don't know what's the differences between their contracts and whatnot, aside from, of course, the physical publication of the magazine. All I know is, if I was an author in Japan right now trying to get into one of these publications, if I couldn't get into probably Kodansha, I would go for Jump Plus. That would be my number one bet. And if you're watching this right now, you're in Japan or you plan to go to Japan someday, that might be the move. Go to Jump Plus. This is where your schedule is a lot more lax. Like Kaiju number 8, it started off weekly, went bi-weekly, every other 3 weeks. Like, they give you a lot of room to grow, and at the same time, series are popping off. Kaiju number 8, Spy Family, 2 of the biggest series right now, and one of them don't even got an anime. So shout outs to these authors. Definitely something to keep a lookout, because Time Paradox Ghost Riders was highly praised as just awesomeness. Then we gotta address the elephant in the room, or the Cape Baldy, or the heroes. You know, villains and heroes, baby. You know how this world works. You might actually be excited about the One Punch Man live action. Let me just throw it out there like that. But One Punch Man, I love freaking seeing One Punch Man in the news, and this might have a lot of people, to be honest with you, change their mind about live actions, and this could change everything for live actions. Like, just think about it, right? One of the biggest things in terms of nerd culture being at the cinema, whatnot, is the Marvel Universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Sure, DC has their stuff or whatever, but the one that has been winning and applying the pressure this entire time is Marvel. And what is Marvel? It's filled with superheroes, Spider-Man, all of that good stuff, right? Well, what if Japan could jump into that market and make something at that caliber? Now, granted, this could go horribly wrong. It always damn near goes horribly wrong. Dragon Ball Evolution, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like if they execute this properly, this could be Jump's way, Shueisha's way, Japan's way of penetrating Hollywood live action adaptations and finally starting anew. I know that's a tall order considering everything is always just regarded as absolute trash, but because of this news, you might look at it differently. It says here, deadline, Fast and Furious director Justin Lin to helm live action One Punch Man movie. Off rip, yo, Fast and the Furious, Fast and the Furious, dog. Do you know how successful that conglomerate of a thing is that they just never let it go? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I want One Punch Man to be like milk the hell and all that, although that would be kind of fire if it was good movie. So I don't even know how to feel. But according to a report on Deadline, a director has been tapped for Hollywood's live action adaptation of One and Yusuke Murata's One Punch Man manga. That duty goes to none other than Justin Lin, Fast and Furious, who just recently departed Fast X over creative differences. So he left the big franchise and decided, you know what, I'm gonna rock with the Cape Baldy. Okay, I see you, hero. Unless you're a villain and you've come to destroy the possibilities of One Punch Man, then leave. The One Punch Man movie is being written by Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner, who did Jumanji Next Level and Venom, which I've heard mixed things about Venom. I didn't really hear too much about Jumanji, with Avi Arad and Ari Arad of Arad Productions producing along with Lin. The director is currently working with a pair of screenwriters on rewrites and aims to begin production by the end of the freaking year. Let's go, baby, man. Please, please. Like, I'm not one of those people. There's a lot of people out there that, believe it or not, they are excited and want these movies to bomb. They want the live actions to bomb. Like, they look at the One Piece live action and they're like, bomb, bomb, be shit. Like, why? I want to enjoy these things. I want to go, whether it be to the cinema, whether it be to HBO Max on my TV, whatever it is. I want these things to be good so we can have laughs and enjoy and, you know, just keep on rocking in the stuff that we love. So I definitely want this to win. I definitely want this dude to say, you know what? I was working with Fast, one of the biggest things. I'm going to make One Punch Man the biggest thing, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going to get the right actors, the right script. I'm not going to corny it up. I'm going to make something awesome. This could be right here, man. Get it right. And you're starting off the, you know, Shonen Jump Shueisha cinematic verse that everybody would love to see. Like, we're waiting, fam. We're waiting. Get them right and keep it going, and we got a verse going. Unless there's a disaster waiting to happen, which very well could. And God, I'm so scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared for this one. It could be great. Or again, continue down the path of the Death Notes and everything else that they've done shitted on in Hollywood with anime adaptations. I don't know. Let me know. Are you hyped for this? Do you think this could change anything? It's still gonna be crap trash. You don't care. Like, ugh. Either way, shout outs to the Cape Baldy getting somebody from a big production like Fast to, you know, work there. I don't know. I'm One Punch Man, dog. Let's get it, man. Let's go. Okay, people, next up, Dragon Ball fans. Dragon Ball fans that are actually interested in the Dragon Ball Super superhero film. I got 2 major updates for you. For starters, let's get this one out the way because I know probably a lot of people in North America in particular are like, when are we going to be able to watch it, dog? Like, okay, it's out in Japan. Kudos for them. We want to watch it, you know? Like, that's the whole reason we're interested to begin with. When we're going to watch it, Fornev, I'll tell you. According to this, Dragon Ball Super Superhero reveals global theatrical release dates, English dubcast. Crunchyroll and Toei Animation have officially revealed the global theatrical release dates for Dragon Ball Super Superhero, with the highly anticipated film set to debut around the world beginning on August 18th in Australia, New Zealand, and Latam, and on August 19th in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Ireland, and more. Full release dates as follows, and you see it there on the screen. Chris, a guy named Chris, if you're out there, put it on the screen, por favor. Yo, I just sounded terrible. Por favor, okay, mijo. The film will arrive in more than 2,300 theaters in the United States alone, as well as select US-based IMAX theaters. Tickets for US and Canada will go on sale July 22nd. That's a big one because this movie could end up, exploding and people going crazy. So if you want to get your tickets early, July 22nd will be the drop date. Of course, FORNEVERNEWS and myself, Fornev, we will be here to let you guys know. But in case you don't get the update, mark your calendars, July 22nd, order your tickets. Then while we're at it, let's talk about the success of it opening weekend in Japan. Japanese box office Dragon Ball Super Superhero beats Top Gun Maverick in its debut weekend. Dragon Ball Super Superhero, the much anticipated 21st feature film in Toei Animation's long-running Dragon Ball anime franchise, finally released in 369 theaters across Japan on June 11th. The 99-minute film earned 670 million yen, about 5.04 million USD, on 498,000 admissions on its first Saturday and Sunday. It was enough to become the top-grossing film of the weekend and beat Tom Cruise's Top Gun Maverick, which had dominated the Japanese box office for 2 consecutive weekends. To be fair, though, so that's its third weekend? You beat Tom Cruise on his third weekend. Let's not get too carried away with ourselves. We gotta be realistic too, dog. And by no means am I trying to shit on Dragon Ball's parade. I'm just, again, we gotta be real. The film's first 2-day gross was about 82.4% of the franchise's previous 20th film. This right here is the golden one. So it did only 82% of what Dragon Ball Super Broly did back in 2018. And for a big look into what the Dragon Ball films have done since they brought the Dragon Ball franchise back, starting with Battle of Gods, look at here, boom, the 18th Dragon Ball film, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods in 2013, it did 683,000 yen. Ooh, that's not good. Hold up. So the first film back, it did on its opening weekend 683,000. Then Resurrection F jumped up to 960,000. Then Broly was a slight dip from Frieza with 813,000. And then Dragon Ball, wow, new headline, people, and I just quote it right here. Dragon Ball Super Superhero is the worst opening weekend sales for a Dragon Ball film since the return of the franchise with Battle of Gods. Holy cow. 670,000, which is basically 13,000 less than what Battle of Gods did opening weekend. And that was when the franchise was just returning. I remember it only did like $2 million in a week over here in the US. In comparison to now, it will do probably 20, 30, 40 million. Like, yikes. That's definitely, I'm gonna 100% say, due to the CGI and the 3D. Like, that's really where that's coming from. I'd imagine they have a plan. I'd imagine there's different markets that don't care about 3D CG. In fact, probably younger kids will look at it and be like, this is just cool, because they're not gonna understand the indoctrination already of, 3D CG is where it's at. And Disney Pixar has pretty much been one of the main culprits of pushing that beyond it. And while those films usually look really awesome, 3D CG doesn't always work well, especially we've seen very much so instances in anime of yikes. But yeah, people, Dragon Ball Super Superhero pretty much did about $5 million opening weekend, and it did less than Battle of Gods. Yikes. It's the lowest one since Battle of Gods. I can't even, that was not my intention of coming here to report. Wow. And in comparison, for the box office this weekend, Dragon Ball Super Superhero at 670 million, then Top Gun Maverick, okay, so you see it's going down. Detective Conan, The Bride of Halloween, 8.7. Okay. Honestly, I'm just shocked. In the middle of Forever News, I just found out that Dragon Ball Super Superhero had the worst opening weekend in the last almost decade of Dragon Ball films. Yikes. Okay, people, next up, I gotta put this one in here because while it's granted not a bajillion% confirmation, oh my god, more Yu Yu Hakusho anime. And the rumor has been spreading like wildfire because I saw over on Twitter, Cynthia Kranz, in case you don't know who Cynthia Kranz is, she's the voice actress. She's done Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball Z, and she is Botan, has always been Botan in Yu Yu Hakusho. Well, minus the Pioneer dub where they called Kuwahara. Like, relax with that shit. But one of the very interesting things right now is that Cynthia Kranz over on Twitter, assuming that is her Twitter, which I believe so, it seems legit, she posted this: Yu Yu Hakusho fans, I have it on good authority that we will be recording the 2 OVAs soon. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what are you talking about? And I'm really hoping that they're referring to the OVAs that came out on the Blu-rays that were released in Japan. I want to say maybe 4 years ago now. They released this big bundled box set where it had 2 new OVAs. Was it 1 or 2 OVAs? A brand new animation with some backstories for Hiei and Kurama. And if that's what Cynthia Kranz is referring to, and this is 100% legit, dog, I need it yesterday. Like, if that is what's about to happen, first of all, salute to Cynthia Kranz, dog. Like, you're so freaking awesome. I grew up with listening to Botan, Pilot of the River Styx, my lord. And if this is legit and that's what they're talking about, I hope they're not talking about the old OVAs, because first of all, I think they redid one of them. What was it? The Golden Seal, probably a decade ago now, and they were okay. I want to see the new animation stuff that really didn't get pushed heavy, and it was just like a Japanese thing that ended up on YouTube. I never even watched it because it's like, dog, I don't watch Ray Gun. I watch Spirit Gun. Like, that's the difference. I'm dub all day with Yu Yu Hakusho, Justin Cook. But yeah, people, it looks like we're getting more Yu Yu Hakusho anime stuff, hopefully dubbed over here. The OVAs, I need them. Then Magi fans, while we may be down bad, we're not defeated, okay? Anytime there's anything Magi related, I'm gonna push the agenda, because y'all know that is the absolute greatness of greatness. Almataran Sindopado Sindria. Well, over there in Japan, they're doing something with the IP. They're continuing on with the Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic musical, and here's some shots from it. I'm just straight up gonna look at the shots. I know there's a little bit of a story there that they got the musical going, but I just want to look at some of the shots, and it looks really cool. I would freaking, I don't want to say I would die to see this, but relax, FORNEV. You don't need to die to see a Magi thing, but oh my god, I would love to see this, dog. They even got like the guy that sells the wine, Judar, down there. And then what else we got over here? Jesus Christ, man. Oh, why don't we get these things? It'll happen in due time. I'd imagine it's only a matter of time before, like, especially with the world reopening up, so to speak, and like all these concerts and everything getting ready to kick off, this would be the perfect opportunity. Bring a Magi live action stage play over here, or recreate it over here. Hire some actors, do it over here, roadshow all around. Like, and obviously they'd probably have to start off with like the big dogs, like a Naruto, Dragon Ball Z one, and then work their way to Magi. But my god, I would go crazy for it. I would tell everybody around me. I would fill up a freaking amphitheater or theater in general. I would fill it up myself of bringing everybody that I possibly can. Like, yo, dog, come meet FORNEV. Let's go watch Magi together. And yeah, this just looks sick. Morgiana, Alibaba, Arajin. Let's go. Okay, people, and last but certainly not least, I did want to point this out, that this looks so freaking sick. Y'all know, in case you don't, I'm a huge Batman fan. The Dark Knight is, you know, the Dark Knight. An animated original film, Batman Azteca, Choque de Imperios, is in the works from HBO Max Latin America. The film follows a young Aztec boy who uses the Temple of Sinicon, the Bat God, as a lair to confront the Spaniard invasion and avenge his father's death. Oh my god, when is this coming out? Jesus Christ, I need this. Look at the design. Like, do you see this shit? Wow, I need this right now. I love the freaking helmet in particular with like the long hairs, like the tribal shit or whatever. And straight up, come on, don't even lie. That's the Berserker armor, guts all day. Like, yo, I want it right now. Y'all know I throw in some time to time, you know, different stories or whatever. And I just found this one to be really freaking awesome. Batman Azteca, like, let's go. Berserker armor and Batman. Why not? But yeah, people, those are all the stories we have for today's episode. Curious what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story, something I didn't talk about and you like FORNEV. Please talk about it, Destiny. Tell me. That's all I have for this one. I'm FORNEV, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace, and you guys just watched another episode of Forever News. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. All of that good stuff. Yeah.
So just go to FORNEVERNEWS.